Hello everyone, I'm Heather.
And I'm Craig.
And today we want to go through what we believe are the top tier quests in Hogwarts Legacy, an excellent open world action RPG by Portkey Games, set in the wizarding world that was established in the Harry Potter books.
Hogwarts Legacy is jam-packed with things to do, and once in a while you come across quests that just shine brighter than the rest, because it's those unforgettable quests that make us forgive the developer for making us do all those pesky Merlin trials.
Of course, this video will contain spoilers for the quests we have chosen, so if you don't want any spoilers, then heads up. Having said that, let's crack on with what is perhaps one of the most awe-inspiring quests in the game.
Our first entry is a quest that introduces new mechanics and demonstrates how the Room of Requirements is much more than just a place to decorate, make potions and grow plants. The quest, The Elf, the Knapsack and the Loom, begins with Deke presenting a knapsack and further confirming ally Poppy Sweeting's concerns over poachers harming magical beasts.
You head outside of Hogwarts with Deke to be taught how to rescue various beasts by sucking them into your knapsack against their will, despite there being no immediate danger to any of them who are happily roaming free in their dens in the wild. But oh well, you keep on rescuing, I guess. We can't do right for doing wrong.
Yes, sounds like another franchise that, doesn't it?
Yes.
Anyway, you follow Deke to a Puffskein den, then a Jobberknoll tree, and finally a Mooncalf den. All of these beasts are absolutely adorable. After completing these tasks, you can return to the Room of Requirement at Hogwarts. Upon your return, a cutscene will play that results in conjuring your first vivarium, which serves as a kind of free-range pocket dimension habitat for your captured beasts. You must then release the beasts you have already captured.
Deke then informs you that a beast shop in Hogsmeade can help care for your beasts that you don't have space for in exchange for money, so you can actually sell your beasts, which is much better than what the poachers do, I guess. He also tells you that if you nurture the beasts in your vivarium, they will produce materials for you to collect. Finally, Deke will then introduce the Enchanted Loom, which allows you to upgrade your gear and add traits using the materials your beasts produce.
So, completing this quest is very rewarding, and once you realise that there are a lot of different beasts to rescue around the world, and shiny beast variants, again, sounds like something else, doesn't it? I jest. It opens up a whole new facet to the game, not to mention the fact that these vivariums are quite big and contain chests within, so be sure to have a good look around each one.
You can also make these vivariums your own, adding different beasts, components and useful items to care for your beasts, such as a feeder and even a breeding pen. Yes, breeding is a thing, and there's even a trophy for breeding every kind of beast. Hogwarts Legacy is a game that just keeps on giving and copying Pokemon.
To be fair, Pokemon don't own breeding now, do they?
No, it actually kind of annoys me that any kind of monster taming element within a game, whether it's a primary mechanic or a secondary one, is always compared to Pokemon. They don't own that genre. They're just the most recognisable game of that genre.
That's true. It's also really nice to take some time out to care for your beasts, and the more you rescue out in the world, the more vivariums appear in your Room of Requirement to cater to them. The beasts themselves are so adorable, especially those Mooncalf with the big eyes. You can brush your beasts in the vivarium, play with them, feed them, breed them, and even sell them if you feel so inclined.
The scenes that unfold during this quest are so memorable. Discovering new beasts, happening by a shiny. The moment you release your beasts and the moment when the vivarium appears reminds us of how spectacular this world really is.
You've done it! Stand proud, purebloods. The future is yours.
Now for a fun quest that becomes available when you reach level 23 and complete the Headmistress Speaks quest. The aim of this quest is to gain the password to the Headmaster's office from the House Elf Scrope by assuming the identity of his master, Headmaster Black.
One of the things that we all share as fans of the game is how unlikable Headmaster Black is, and it's like he wants everyone to hate him. So what could be more fun than impersonating him using Polyjuice Potion, having him using conversations with students, making him look silly, playing pranks and prancing around the school with the authority of a headmaster.
I can only imagine the raised eyebrows and confusing questions he might face after we encounter so many people and adorn the Great Hall with the banners of our chosen house for no reason whatsoever and refusing to ever comment on the matter.
I decree that the Great Hall be forthwith decorated in the dignified banners of Hufflepuff. I shall be taking no questions at this time. Or ever.
It's just a shame that the Polyjuice Potion does not play more of a role in the game. There should be more quests that require you to assume someone else's identity. Perhaps they will explore this further in the next game.
There's not much else to say about this quest, but we wanted to include it because it's so fun. Anyways, once you gain entry to the headmaster's office, a fantastic and unique quest awaits you, which just so happens to be our next entry.
Now to speak the password to the gargoyle.
Hogwarts Legacy does a great job at exploring and expanding on Harry Potter's existing lore, and this is most apparent during the third main quest trial. After speaking to Fitzgerald's portrait in the headmaster's office, you interact with a book and are magically sucked inside to witness the Deathly Hallows fable, presented in a storybook designed town from your own perspective. The art style alone makes this section starkly unique.
There are a lot of key moments in the quest that mirror the Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows tale of three brothers, making this the most direct and obvious link between the game and its source media. For this quest you must sneak through the town using the disillusionment charm to avoid detection from the gigantic hooded depiction of Death and its minions.
If you are not expecting it, Death's appearance is actually quite scary and intimidating. You can tell that nothing good can come from being spotted as he ominously lords over the town. This quest is split into 3 sections, and in each section you gain temporary access to one of the 3 powerful magical objects spoken of in the Deathly Hallows tale.
I think I'm invisible.
You first acquired a cloak of invisibility to improve your stealth so that you can make it to the next section unobserved. You then have to confront Death's minions in combat using the legendary Elder Wand, which packs a real punch and reduces your spell's cooldown. Lastly, you obtain the Resurrection Stone, which is used to revive Fitzgerald and view her memories through a pensieve.
Sadly, you don't get to keep the Deathly Hallows after this quest. When you return to the real world, leaving the storybook adventure behind, the 3 Deathly Hallows will simply not be in your possession. Boo! But on the bright side, you will unlock the Hallowed Hero achievement for completing the quest, or the Bronze Trophy on PlayStation.
But you cannot undo what has been done. The magic of the stone can only conjure a shadow of my former self.
The High Keep begins as a quest to infiltrate Falbarton Castle in search of evidence that will expose Harlow and Rookwood's actions. This forms part of friend Natty Onai's mission, but quickly develops into a Hippogriff rescue mission. The Hippogriff has been captured by poachers.
For this quest you have to find a way through the castle, which is full of locks, hard to reach areas and enemies. You can choose whether to go in stealthily or wands a-blazing. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds like your bog standard mission, but what makes this quest so special is its magnificent finale.
Not only does Natty obtain the evidence she needs to incriminate Harlow, but you end up with your very own Hippogriff mount. The latter end of the quest sees the player flying the newly acquired Hippogriff Highwing over Black Lake in an uplifting scene of friendship, liberation and pure joy.
The rescue also pleases your other ally, Poppy Sweeting, and you come away from the quest with a new summonable Hippogriff mount, a top tier prize that more than makes up for our castle ascent. Before we move on to our number 1 pick, we just want to mention a few other notable quests that almost made it onto our list.
It's All Gobbledygook is a very underrated quest which takes players into a goblin mine. Then there's Fire and Vice, an anti-poaching quest with Poppy Sweeting that introduces centaurs and dragons. Her entire questline is great, as is Sebastian Sallows, which is where you gain all the forbidden spells. Hogwarts Legacy is full of excellent quests, so choosing just 5 for this video wasn't easy. But now, let's move on to our final entry.
Oh goody, someone to play with! I sense you're not ruffled by hard work.
The Haunted Hogsmeade shop quest is the best quest in the entire game by far. It's perfectly crafted, and it's odd that the developers chose to initially make this PlayStation exclusive content until February 2024, rather than making it readily available across all platforms. It's an eerie mystery adventure quest that becomes available after completing the third Keeper trial.
The quest is called Minding Your Own Business, and as the quest name implies, a witch called Cassandra Mason offers you the opportunity to purchase your very own business, a rundown shop in the heart of Hogsmeade for just 1,500 gold.
Now, if you are as cynical and untrusting of strangers as me and Heather, then you would instantly ask, why? What's wrong with it?
The playmate I've been looking for.
But in the game, you are a young, optimistic Hogwarts student with an entrepreneurial spirit, apparently. You jump at the chance to own your own shop full of hope, excitement and naivety.
If you thought that this opportunity would allow you to ditch your owl exams and become a self-employed merchant, then think again. The whole thing quickly turns into a nightmare worthy of some of the best horror games out there. You soon realise that the shop's basement, that's accessible through an enchanted chest made from Time Lord bigger on the inside magic, is haunted by a destructive ghost named Fastidio. And boy does he love tormenting people with his tricks.
You might survive a bit longer than the others.
I hope you are not scared of living mannequins, fractured reality scenarios, a lunatic poltergeist or the dark, because this quest will be terrifying for you. You have to explore the murky depths of the basement, which is a creepy place in itself, whilst Fastidio messes with the environment around you, twisting and contorting rooms, forming new walls and removing doors, throwing objects, and generally messing with your sanity whilst creating complex puzzles to solve.
As the tension rises and you think that changing the environmental structure is all he can do to make you anxious, you are then forced to fight upside down with an inverted UI and are frequently placed into a terrifying darkness of which only the Lumos charm can save you. Or can it? When you illuminate the environment, mannequins appear arranged all around you in increasing sentience and violence. It's truly horrific, or fantastic, depending on your taste for terror.
Being a massive horror fan, this quest was right up my street. They did it so well. The level design was incredible and the shift in tone from the warmth of Hogwarts and the surrounding friendly hamlets to this is reminiscent of the shift in tone from the Chamber of Secrets to Prisoner of Azkaban movies, although much darker. Should you escape Fastidio's clutches in this hour-long quest, a fantastic duel awaits you with Cassandra Mason that is sadly the only duel of its kind in the game.
This duel is challenging and very fun. It really does feel like a real duel between two powerful wizards with additional challenges and conditions that need to be met to inflict damage. You have to really be on the ball, dodging correctly, using the environment, storing up ancient magic to release at the right moment. It's an intense fight that feels uniquely perilous compared to other tamer duel scenarios, like battling Rookwood. After this duel, all others seem kinda lacklustre in comparison.
When you defeat Cassandra, you will have a shop to call your own, which is sadly not as great as it sounds. The only function it serves is a place to sell your items and gear at a slightly better rate than anywhere else. You also get a new friend in the form of Penny the house elf who runs the shop and the shopkeeper's outfit.
The rewards are kind of a wet fart compared to how awesome the quest is, but it's a quest that everyone should experience and it's nice to end up with your own shop, outfit and a new friend.
And Penny is most eager to start working with the new owner.
So there we have it. There's 5 of the best, most magical quests in Hogwarts Legacy. Let us know if you think there are any other quests that should have been on this list and what you thought about the quests we have featured.
On a more personal note, I was absolutely astonished when Hogwarts Legacy was completely ignored by the Game Awards. I know this was quite a while ago now, but I've wanted to mention this in a video for ages, because I can only think of one reason why the best-selling game of the year was completely snubbed, and everyone knows what it is, and it's absolutely ridiculous. Hogwarts Legacy outsold the likes of Resident Evil 4 Remake, Starfield, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, Diablo 4, Alan Wake 2 and more. It became the most popular game ever streamed on Twitch in the history of the platform, and it sold 70% more than Elden Ring did over the same period. The success of this game has been phenomenal, and that is likely in part due to how great the questing is. Hogwarts Legacy is a fantastic game, and nothing should undermine the hard work that clearly went into its development by people who have nothing to do with anything. Hogwarts Legacy was my game of the year, and I'm sure it was game of the year for so many others. If you don't like it, then smash that dislike button.
And breathe.
Yes.
I just wanted to let Heather rant because this has been bothering her for months. But on that bombshell, I've been Craig.
And I've been Heather.
This is Amalgamingle, and thank you very much for watching.
Seriously, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth doesn't win Game of the Year this year, I'm just going to quit. I don't know what I'm going to quit, but I'm going to quit.
You quit.
I will. Bye, everyone.